How's it? Today is Tuesday, January 26th, and it's another squat day. Last week I did 146 for 5 fives, and today I did 149 for 5 fives. It was interesting. As you can see, I'm not in my normal spot because two things happened. First, Will and Chris showed up at 6 a.m., so it's fun to have others around when I'm lifting in the morning because yesterday morning was really lonely, really cold, really boring. So that meant that those three of us would take up three platforms, and so I'm on this corner one that I don't normally go on. Second thing that happened was I woke up at 5. I turned on my heater. I got back in bed, which is the worst mistake you could probably have. And I ended up falling asleep. And when I actually got out of bed, it was 6. 6 is normally when I start lifting. So I got to the gym at like 6:30, and my warm-ups were a little rushed, and I'm you know, not super mentally prepared for what I was gonna do. But here's my first set. The first 2 reps of every single set was solid. Third rep was struggle. Fourth rep was further struggle. Fifth rep was, oh my goodness, how am I gonna end up doing 5 sets of 5 here? But I kind of just buckled down and just pushed through everything. The issue that I'm having is that I think the first 2 reps are really solid because I have a lot of upper back tension, and you can see my elbows stick under the bar instead of pushing behind the bar, and that puts my upper body into a much better position for pushing. And what ends up happening actually is that when I focus on this elbow thing, my hip tension is actually it doesn't just disappear, like as it normally does. So I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is I end up going lower than I intended to. So it's I think if I do focus a little bit more on cutting depth a little bit while having my elbows under the bar, I think my squats would look a lot better. They would feel a lot stronger. But as it stands, I'm able to maintain some amount of hip tension at the very, very bottom of the hole if I keep my elbows under the bar. And that's not something I've been able to do for the hip tension thing for a few years now. So I'm pretty happy that I'm kind of trending towards that. But yeah, so this week's squats were really hard. Last week was really easy, and the week before that was really hard. So I went from today, it was 149. Last week was 146, the easy week, and then 143 was the hard week prior to that. And so I'm not sure. Hopefully, I can follow suit next week. I don't know if Steve still wants me to push up. That would be about 152 or so, which would probably be honestly a PR 5x5, like a lifetime PR. But yeah, that would be exciting for me. This is my last set. This is probably my best set as far as technique goes and just overall positioning. Maybe aside from this last rep here, but the other 4 were really solid. I'm looking back at it, I was struggling really hard doing the whole squatting portion of the workout, but I'm actually really happy with how it turned out because, like I said, the first 2 reps on every single set was pretty solid. So after that, I moved into my overhead press 5x5. Last week I did 61, and the week prior to that I did 60. So the 60 week was really, really hard. Last week 61 was much easier than 60, and then today was a 62, somewhere in between the difficulty. So not as hard as 2 weeks ago at a lighter weight, but a little bit harder than last week, which makes sense because yeah, I'm increasing by 1 kilo. After that, I just do my other accessories. So I have the 3 accessories: my barbell squat jumps here, my tempo Bulgarian split squats, which take forever, and then I have my banded tricep push downs. But yeah, like looking back at it, I'm pretty happy with how today went. During the whole thing, it felt honestly terrible, but I'm happy that I was able to push through and that I was able to do everything without one getting hurt, without two failing, and without three giving up. So that's a big positive for me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what I'll be able to do next week. Hopefully, set a PR 5x5. That would be pretty big for me. But thank you for watching. Shoots.